Yo. Man, I had a right now my stomach is upset, man. But I want in this video, man, I want to talk about foreign women because I think we don't talk about foreign women enough, and why there's so many lonely, desperate, beautiful women in other countries. Now, keep in mind that these are second and third world countries, so it's every person for themselves over there. Like, let's kick this off like this. Why are there so many beautiful foreign women in other countries and single? Let me tell you something real quick. Number one, you got to pay their parents. you know, if you get involved with a Thai chick, let's say she's Thai. You know, if you get involved with a beautiful 8, 9, or 10, you got to pay their parents. You got to send money to. You got to send money to their parents. It's tradition, man. And then when you take her away, you got to pay their parents. You got to pay them a little bit of money to take her away. It's tradition, man. So imagine you walking around with a bunch of beautiful women all over the place, and the only way you can get with a female and be serious with her and marry her and stuff like that is that you got to pay their parents or send money to them every month or whatever. So a lot of guys, they don't want to do that shit. It's not like the U.S. where you marry a female and she gets a job, and she take care of her own self, and her parents take care of their own self. Okay, this is not, you know, it's not like the U.S. where you take care only of the girl. In other countries, especially Thailand, you take care of the family as well. So basically, a few $100s is going to be lifted out of your pocket every single month. Like you got to send $200 or $300 every month to their parents. That means you got to be together financially. And a lot of guys in Thailand are poor. You see what I'm saying? They ain't got all that money like that. Now they can hit it and quit it, or even leave her to be a single mother. But they ain't got no money like that to like marry a female and take care of her family too. And that's another thing. Number two, you know, another reason why there's so many beautiful single women in other countries is that there's not enough good men to go around. Like men with good jobs, men who will treat them right, right? Rich men, you know what I'm saying? There's not enough of those women to go around. Thailand is a small island compared to the US. Okay. So that can't be too many men on that island. And then you got the lady boys and stuff like that. That's number three. Number three is the lady boys. That cuts into the heterosexual population, the heterosexual men population. You see what I'm saying? So you got all that going on, and then you got so many single, beautiful 7, 8, 9s, and 10s just walking around, can't find a man, can't find a good man either. So soon enough, they'll start looking toward, foreigners who got a little bit of money. and a little bit of simp in them. Okay, so you know they start looking toward foreigners. Foreigners who are giving and caring because another thing. The men there are not, like I said before, the men there in Thailand are not as caring and providing as the U.S. men or the Western men, not just the U.S. Western men, the U.K., uh, 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 Canada, the U.S. You know, their men there are not as caring and nurturing as the men in the West. So that's three reasons why there's so many beautiful, gorgeous women out there, just wasting away. Some of them can't even find sex like that. Some of them got a fetish for black men and can't fulfill it. Can't fulfill it because they don't have the resources to leave the country. They don't got the resources or nothing like that to leave Thailand and go look for a black man. You know, some of them got a white man fetish and they can't go out and they don't. There's not enough foreigners to go around. There's not enough white or black men to go around, and white and black men are in high demand in Thailand. The reason why I say it's you know reason why I say they're in high demand is because it's so easy to get a Thai woman when you go there. Being a foreigner from another country is so easy to get a a Thai woman. So when it's easy to get a Thai woman, that means, or even a Colombian woman or Brazilian woman, when it's easy, when you get to those countries and you easily pick up a woman just like that, that means you're in high demand. When dehydrated, when you lose a girlfriend, like when you lose a girlfriend, you pick one up the following day or the following week, that means you are in high demand. Okay, when you lose a girlfriend and before the sun go down, you get another one, you're in high demand. You see what I'm saying? So these places are where a lot of men are gravitating to or toward because a lot of men are getting tired of the West and the women in the West. They're getting tired of the ghosting, getting tired of the pickiness, the attitude. They're getting tired of all that shit, bro. They say, fuck it, I'm going overseas and I'll deal with these foreign women, and get me a foreign girl friend. You see what I'm saying? Just like that, you know. And they know what you want. They know that you are lonely, you can't get a girlfriend. They hear stories about men struggling to get women in the US and in the UK. They hear that shit, bro. They know that motherfuckers they looking for that tender love and care, man. You know what I'm saying? They know you looking for that shit, bro. They know that you're having problems, finding a woman. They know that you are looking for that baby, and men love to be called baby and babe and shit like that. They know that. That's why they start doing that right away when you meet them. Every single Thai woman I have met has been calling me babe within the first like couple of weeks of knowing her. You know what I'm saying? Start calling me baby right off the bat. And I'm thinking in my head, like, damn, how many other motherfuckers does she call baby? You know what I'm saying? Besides me. You know what I'm saying? And all them beautiful women out there in Thailand and in Colombia, man, and we can't even reach them like that because the key is to stay there. And man need resources to live amongst them women out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to come up with ways to figure out how you're gonna stay out there permanently. You know what I'm saying? Got to figure out how we gonna get out there, get to these women, man, that are very lonely. A lot of them, they got cats and shit because they ain't got no man, bruh. And these are 8, 9s, and 10s. 8, 9s, and 10s, the most beautiful women on the planet. They can't find a man. There's a lot of single mothers out there in Thailand. There's a gang of them. Single mothers in their 30s. Now they still can't, I mean, they can't find a man. You know, especially when they become single mothers. If a woman becomes a single mother in Thailand, she is screwed for life until she finds a simp foreigner that would take her and her child in. You see what I'm saying? A single mother in Thailand is pretty much finished. Our only hope is a foreigner at that point. That's why you see a lot of single mothers gravitating toward foreigners, gravitating toward black men and white men and shit like that because these men are fucking lonely and they need a woman in their life. Basically, two desperate people coming together. Single mother, she's desperate. She needs money. She needs aid. She needs affection. You know, and then you got a Western foreigner coming from Europe, the UK, or America, just looking for love or looking for kindness, looking for affection, looking for companionship, looking for, you know, um, intimacy that he's missing in his life. And basically, two desperate people come together. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, whatever. It is what it is. You can't change it. It is what it is, dude. You know, a lot of men out here have been struggling for years, man, trying to find a woman, a good woman. Not some like raggedy and doll that you find on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Not some single mother bullshit out here, man. You know what I'm saying? You know. So they go overseas. They're only doing what nature is telling them to do. They're only doing what nature is telling them to do, which is go find some pussy and find some affection and want to have kids and have a family and all that shit, man. And especially older men. Older men are the most loneliest guys. Because here in the West, once you get past a certain age, you're considered like washed up or over the hill. Like once you get past 40, you're considered like washed up in society. Why? Because there's so many men, so many young men to compete with. You see what I'm saying? So many young men to compete with, so many young Chads and Tyrones to compete with. So basically, I mean, women out here, they only go after looks, money, and status. Nowadays, in America, women date up, you know, and women in foreign countries, they date down in looks, but they date up with financial stability. Like the other day, I saw one of my Tahoes, I guess she got into a relationship with some ugly motherfucker. But this broad, she's a single mother and shit. I shouldn't say ugly, I should say sub five. She got into a relationship with a sub five guy, and she's showing his pictures all over Facebook and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? That's why I typed in her comment section and she didn't respond. And then she said she showed another picture of the guy, basically sub five like a motherfucker. And I'm like, well, I hope he got money, a lot of money, and she didn't respond. You see, out in Thailand, women don't have them fucking options that American women have. They don't have the opportunity that American women, you know, that American women have. So you got a lot of desperate, lonely men coming from the UK, coming from America, looking for looking for a woman because they can't find one in their own countries. And this is what happens. That's why you see a lot of like foreign guys over there in Thailand. They looking for that love. They're looking for that affection. And mostly it'd be sub five and it'd be normies going overseas, man. Now there are some Chads and Tyrones out there, but Chads and Tyrones don't stay out there, man. They don't have to. Chads and Tyrones don't have to stay out there. And staying in those countries, boy, that's a struggle. We talking about you better have some stability for sure. You know what I'm saying? Staying out there means, man, you better have a business going on. You better have income coming in every single goddamn month, man. Long term. Long term, though. And that's the tricky part. You could tell, you know what? I see a lot of these travel channels like international travels and shit like that. International passport bros, all these channels and shit like that. They talking about get your passport, get your passport. But bruh, what is it gonna do? What good is it gonna do if you can't stay? You're just gonna go out there and fuck a whole lot and then come back to the Matrix and be like, damn, that was fun. Now back to this fucking workhorse bullshit. Back to work. That was fun. I'll make another trip next year. And you're gonna go out there and you're gonna meet a girl and I gotta go home. I gotta go home. And then before you know it, you'll be bringing her back to the US because you can't afford to stay out there long term. Then you bring her back up to the US. She finds her power. Okay. She realizes that, hey, I don't have to stay with this motherfucker that I'm not attracted to. I can get with a Chad or Tyrone because that's what happens with a lot of guys. A lot of sub-5 guys, they can't find a woman over here. So what they do is they go to other countries and they bring the woman back over here to this land because they can't afford to stay in that country long term. They try to find a shortcut. Ain't no such thing as a shortcut, bro. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as a shortcut. You gotta go straight up the motherfucking middle. You know, shooting and cutting and slicing like Call of Duty. Straight up the motherfucking middle. So it's like, you know what? And a lot of these guys, they're happy out there, man, in Thailand and in Colombia. A lot of expat guys who got tired of America, they're living a happy life in Thailand right now and in Colombia. The key is to stay there long fucking goddamn term. You know what I'm saying? When you get your money, you know, the key is to invest, man. When I get my money, I'm gonna keep as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna fix my situation, buy me a brand new car, put the rest of it up. On to the, you know, on to the next jackpot. So understand that, you know, these women out in other countries, bro, they are lonely than a motherfucker. Imagine a fucking 8, 9, or 10 who can't get a fucking boyfriend if her life depended on it. Imagine that. Out in fucking America, every single fucking rich man, simp, pussy beggar will come out of the woodwork, you know, out here for 8, 9, or 10. And it's so goddamn competitive for these type of women in America because there's so many, there's not a whole lot of them, bro. There's not a whole lot of 8, 9s, and 10s in America, bro. Only in certain cities, bro. Like LA, New York, probably there's some 8, 9s, and 10s in Texas, Miami, you know, Florida, all these other spots. But in the middle states, there's not no 8, 9s, and 10s, man. You know, or in the upper states, the northern part of the U.S., there's no 8, 9, or 10s up there, man. South Carolina, North Carolina, South Dakota, North Dakota. Then you go down south, Mississippi, Louisiana. Ain't no 8, 9s, and 10s walking around there. Now you might have some in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might have some in Atlanta, but nah, we don't got the 8, 9s, or 10s that Colombia has or Brazil, especially Brazil. We don't got the 8, 9s, or 10s out like that. You see what I'm saying? We don't. Mm, You know, uh, Thailand got way more 8, 9s, or 10s than the U.S., and that's a way smaller country than the U.S. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's so many gorgeous, beautiful women in these countries because of what I said. You know, let's you know, in summary, number one, you got to pay their parents. You got to pay their parents, you know, to take her away, and you got to send money to them every single month. You know what I'm saying? That'll make a lot of women single in those countries, in any country. Imagine in America where all of a sudden, it was American tradition for you to send money to their parents every single month. Imagine how many single women will be out there. Imagine how many single 8, 9s, and 10s will be in America right now. Matt, if all of a sudden it was tradition to send money, right, to their parents. Imagine how many single women will be all over the place. It's not like that here. Then imagine like half of the male population became gay, like lady boys. Imagine how many single women will pop up out of nowhere, bro. Imagine if there was half of the men in the U.S. that were all of a sudden to turn gay, turn to lady boys. It would free up a lot of fucking women. I'm telling you. You know, imagine that, right? So women out there in different countries, especially if she's thick, especially if she's thick and she got some meat on her, man, we talking about she gonna be a cat lady. I know a female, she got some meat on her. She's considered fat in Thailand. And she's single like a motherfucker. And she goes home to her cat every single night. Every single night. And she's young too. Well, she like 25, 26. She thick. She got a big old booty. And she goes home to her cat every single night. I'm not that attracted to her. She's a little bit too big for me. You know what I'm saying? I like thinner women, right? This is what I talk to online. You know what I'm saying? This is what I talk to. You know what I'm saying? But I added her a while back when I had a thirst for bigger women. When I first started talking to Thai women, you know, I was talking to big girls. I'm gonna save this for later. I was talking to when I first started talking to Thai women, I was I was talking to big girls. I didn't know any better because I was so busy talking to women out in the US, and talking to big girls was like was natural. You know what I'm saying? It came, so I started talking to big girls in Thailand too, because I was just used to it. And I thought, wow, I started to see that I can get thinner women. So I stopped talking to those big girls. And that's why she's still on my friend list on Facebook, because I used to talk to big girls. But now I see that thin women that work out, keep their body in shape, are way more attractive than women who are big, big girls. You know what I'm saying? So these women, they go home to their cats every single goddamn night. You know, they're big, fat, as they call it, right? In Asia, if you're thick, you're fat as a woman. And men not, Asian men, Thai men, they're not digging that shit. They don't like that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't like thick women. They don't like, you got to be slender, slim. That's the beauty. In Thailand, the standard beauty is slim, thin, low percentage body fat. That's what the rich men like out there in Thailand, or well, men who got it together, right? The 20% in Thailand. Very small percentage, bro. Very small percentage out there because Thailand, you know, it's not a lot to go around. These women, they can't find a boyfriend at all. I'm telling you, lonely like a motherfucker. And when you come along, boy, you're gonna be fucking so many women. My thing is, dude, I don't want to get out there and be a player for too long. I want to eventually get married because I think that I need a woman that's gonna take care of me, making sure I eat my healthy meals and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I do the same to her, man. Make sure we both eat healthy together and we be a family together. I'm getting too old, guys, to be a player. You see what I'm saying? I want to eventually settle down, you know, and get a woman. You feel me? But I know when I first get out there, it's gonna be hard to settle down. So for the first couple of years, when I get out there, I won't be settling down because I know for a fact I'm gonna get bombarded with a whole lot of women, bro. This is what I hear from some of these Thai women, and that when the men get over there, you know, they promise them the world, they break a lot of promises, they end up sleeping with different women because, you know, there's not a whole lot of men to go, especially black men. And there's not a whole lot of black men to go around for the women who like black men. This is what the girl that I'm talking to says. She says there's not a whole lot of black men out there. She said she wished there was more black men out there, but there's not. And she can't find one. And then they're all taken. All the black men are taken. If they are black men there, they're taken. They're old or something like that, because a lot of like motherfuckers who got that pension, they older cats, they like in their 60s and shit like that. So, a lot of women, they're not really digging that either, but they'll deal with these dudes because they got them resources, they got that stability. So anyway, I'm in the video, man. I want to make that quick one, man. Just want to let you know why there's so many beautiful women that are single in Thailand. We're talking about 8, 9s, and 10s just out there walking around with no man. And then, like I said, when they see you, they start licking their chops. They're like, oh, shit, there's a black man? Shit. I bet his dick is big. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say in Thailand, there's high demand for black men. You see what I'm saying? High demand. When you go there, bro, you won't. It don't matter what you look like. You could be sub 5. You won't have a problem getting a female in Thailand. I'm just saying. In the West, you will struggle, especially if you sub 5. In the West, you will struggle. Even if you're decent looking, you will struggle. Simple as that. Because of the internet allows these women to have access to the 20%, the Chads and Tyrones, the men with money, and there's tons of men with money and good jobs all over the place. So that's why a lot of guys go years or sometimes months or years without a girlfriend because you got so many men out here that got their shit together. And if you're a guy who's an average Joe, working at McDonald's, DoorDash, you know what I'm saying, you're just gonna have a hard time because on how competitive it is here in the U.S. You know what I'm saying, for women's attention and affection. Like nowadays, you got to be part of the 20% to even have a good sex life. That's how bad it's gotten. You guys have a good day or good night, wherever you are. Peace out, take care, and bless.